This. Since President Tinubu came to office in 2023, the situation has worsened in your country. You have a mixture of militant groups, you have bandits, you have clashes between herders and farmers.
We also have
Nigeria is now
of foreign interest in Nigeria.
Nigeria is now the 5th deadliest country in the world.
Okay, welcome back, subscribers to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on your notification bell. Daniel Bwala was on Al-Jazeera to talk and defend the Tinubu-led administration, but he rather made a mess of that interview. A lot of persons have been calling for his resignation and calling this interview, rather the interview he made on Al-Jazeera, a shame to Nigeria, democracy. I'm going to play the video for you to see and decide for yourself. Don't forget to drop your thoughts and your comments below after watching this explosive interview by Daniel on Al Jazeera television. Thank you.
Daniel Bwala, thank you so much for joining me on Head to Head.
Thank you.
Nigeria is a proud, sovereign, independent nation, a powerhouse in Africa. Right. So why did you just let Donald Trump and the United States bomb your country on Christmas Day?
The United States government did not bomb our country. The decision by the US government was anchored on the intelligence sharing between Nigeria and the United States and the agreement on the operation.
So Donald Trump just didn't bomb Nigeria on his own whim?
No. The US Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, called our own foreign affairs minister when the decision was made that that was the time to strike. And the foreign affairs minister got in touch with the president.
So this was a joint operation, you're saying?
Yes, it was a joint operation. On the Nigerian...
What I don't understand is, how can it be a joint operation? Yeah. When Donald Trump says that there is a genocide going on against Christians carried out by Muslims with your government turning a blind eye. And you've called that narrative a hoax. Mm-hmm. You said it creates discord in Nigeria.
Right. So
when Donald Trump says he's bombing Nigeria to protect Christians from a genocide, is he lying?
We both disagree as to whether the so-called genocide in Nigeria was against Christians. We believe that it is a targeted killing by insurgents, Boko Haram bandits, and all of these criminal elements against the people of Nigeria, Christians, Muslims, and those who have not identified with any religion. Donald Trump believed it is Christians. We now felt, rather than arguing about whether it is against Christians or not, there is one area we both agree, that we have a joint interest in the fight against terrorism.
But you're fine with the fact that his motivation is something you disagree with. You think it's a hoax?
Yes, because...
So when Donald Trump says there is a genocide against Christians in Nigeria, is he telling the truth?
It is a half-truth, in the sense that, yes, Christians have been affected.
History of not hitting terrorists and hitting civilians, you know that, right? Your country.
I'm not aware.
Oh, well, on December 21st, the Nigerian Air Force said that they handed over compensation to people who were hit in an accidental airstrike on Christmas Day 2024. Do you just bomb every Christmas?
When and when?
You're not aware of Morenike Saka, who said, I began to scream for help. I had to crawl my way out of the room. The missile tore through her apartment building, according to the Washington Post. How about Musa Soliu? I was in my room. I was buried under the ruins. I don't know how to restart my life. My belongings are destroyed.
Houses were not destroyed.
Are you telling us that Nigerian citizens are lying about being bombed by the US?
I am saying that the military operation that was conducted on that day was targeted as terrorists, and we hit them.
Does your government only spring into action when it is internationally shamed into doing so?
Unfortunately for you, 6 months before that, we arrested the leaders of Lakurawa and Boko Haram. Some months before that, we killed a certain number of terrorists that the US government, State Department, commended Nigeria. The US Embassy celebrated the fact of the exploit of Nigeria before Donald Trump said that.
But again, he shamed you, and you declared a national emergency. You didn't do it before he shamed you.
We declared the national emergency 6 months before Donald Trump's statement.
No, that's not true.
The president
of November of 2025.
No. Much earlier, around, I think, April or May, the president declared national emergency on insecurity.
But the actual national emergency was in November.
How can it be actual?
People can look this up. Let's talk about kidnappings. Yeah. The world remembers Chibok in 2014, when 276 schoolgirls were taken by the militant group Boko Haram. Very little has changed, unfortunately, in Nigeria. Just last November, 250 students and staff were kidnapped from St. Mary's Catholic School in Niger State. 2 years into Tinubu's presidency, Nigerian research firm SBM Intelligence said, and I quote, Nigeria's kidnap for ransom crisis has consolidated into a structured, profit-seeking industry. That's embarrassing for your country that you have a kidnapping industry.
I agree with the fact that the insecurity associated with kidnapping has now become a crisis economy. But much more than that, I know of our government's effort in dealing with that insecurity. If you have a little understanding of the nature and the boundary and the geographical measurement of Nigeria and the tendency for insecurity to come in, then you will understand that we're fighting a hydra-headed insecurity situation. With respect to the kidnapping of children, the government has taken measures already. We've introduced what we call Save the School, where students and schools that are in remote places where there is no security are brought back into state capital where they get the education that they need.
But Nigerian people don't believe you. 2 out of 3 Nigerians say that
Where did
security...
you get that information?
Africa Barometer. May of 2024, 2 out of 3 Nigerians say security agencies are handling the abduction of Nigerians fairly badly or very badly. 1 in 3 Nigerians say they personally know someone who's been kidnapped.
Yeah, you have
These are stunning statistics. Amnesty, Human Rights Watch have lined up to say that you have allowed impunity to flourish, you have failed to apply lessons from previous attacks, damning indictments of your security service.
I put it to you, that's not what they said.
You're not aware of that one?
I am aware. I'm aware.
At the weekend, you put out a video to music of you and a team researching and prepping for this show, and yet every time I've asked you something, you say, I'm not aware of that. What were you researching in that video?
You're really funny.
Let's ask about corruption before we go to our panel who are waiting patiently here. Transparency International, they say systemic corruption continues to plague the defense sector, causes a major hindrance to security. President Tinubu said in August, there is no more corruption in Nigeria. That's a ridiculous thing to say, is it not?
We investigate any case of corruption, not just in the defense, but anywhere in government. This administration has had lots of people who are in government, either sacked or investigated and being prosecuted. The resolve of our administration in dealing with corruption is obvious.
Why did he say there's no more corruption?
You probably read him out of context. No, I didn't. No, read exactly what he said. You're cherry picking. How can someone just stand and say there is no corruption in Nigeria?
It is getting clearer to the people. We have more money to the economy and no more corruption. Full stop, close quote.
Good. So this is the context. He was communicating to the people about the exploit we're having as a result of the decision to remove fuel subsidy. We dealt with the question of corruption in the oil industry.
And how can Nigerians take Tinubu seriously on eliminating corruption when he appoints someone like Abubakar Bagudu as Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, a man who, according to the US Justice Department, with others, embezzled, misappropriated, defrauded, and extorted billions with a B from the government of Nigeria under the dictator Sani Abacha. Bagudu avoided criminal charges. He cut a deal with the Nigerian government, returned some of the money. But the president literally put Nigeria's budget in the hands of a man who's accused of looting billions of dollars. Actually, it's your opinion. In January 2023, you talked about the legal petition against him that involves, quote, massive corruption and misappropriation of funds. You were in the opposition and were very critical of his work.
Exactly verbatim what I said, because what you just said is not a true representation of
January 22nd, 2023, you said the petition against him involves massive corruption and misappropriation of funds belonging to the government of Lagos State, abuse of official office, conflict of interest. You said at the time that Tinubu started a militia to sway the election corruptly and that they even threatened you. So how can we take anything seriously you say tonight in his defense?
Your opinion, Nigerians...
So my opinion is your opinion. Sorry, Daniel, it's your opinion.
That was litigated in Nigeria to...
I myself have received threats from him and his camp. Your words.
I never said that.
You didn't say that at a press conference on January 22nd, 2023. You're just denying.
I never said that.
Challenges. Can you find me a country in the world where the sitting president, the US government seized $500,000 from one of their Chicago bank accounts after investigators found probable cause that the funds were proceeds of drug trafficking, specifically heroin. Tinubu gave up the money in a settlement. He was never indicted of a crime. But when a US judge last year ordered the release of all of the documents by the FBI, Tinubu went to court to prevent it. What does he have to hide? In 2019, 2 armored money trucks, bullion vans, were seen going into his house, coming out of his house. Where did that money go?
No. Point, did you see the money? Or those who reported, did they see money inside the bullion van?
Was there no money in the bullion vans?
How am I to know?
You said it was money in the vans at the time.
I never
2023, February. You
how could I have known there was money?
It's a tragedy that I know your words better than you do. There is only one person in Nigeria who is alleged to have moved money through bullion vans, and that person is the presidential candidate. You said that on February 17th on Channels Television 2023.
Thank you for notifying me. I never said that.
Ostensibly, I can't believe you still keep walking into this. You said it was done ostensibly for vote buying. Do you agree with Daniel Bwala or not? Please don't lift up a glass of water.
I'm coming. What you just said now, I want to put it on record, on my own honor. That's not what I said.
So you thought he was vote buying and now you don't. You thought he bought his election, now you don't. In fact, you said it was so corrupt, the 2023 election, Tinubu's win, you said that you couldn't eat food for 3 days.
I never said that. Where?
Arise News, March 2nd, 2023. I became so sick for the past 3 days, I found it very hard eating food.
I'm sure you have a mistaken identity. I never said that.
You never said Tinubu campaigned under the slogan, "It's my turn," which many critics would say is symbolic of the Nigerian establishment, that people just hand out jobs between themselves. You said in 2022 that Tinubu made the presidency about himself when, quote, "it's not about the people." Can we end the show in agreement that what's happening in Nigeria right now is not about the people?
After he won the election, he made it clear by his conduct, action, and executive act that it is about the interests of the Nigerians.